My name is Natalie Rose Calloway. I'm 31 years old. On December 20th, 2024, my parents called me home for Christmas. Family reunion, my mother said. I drove 11 miles from my studio apartment to their Lake Oswego house, the one worth $2.1 million that I'd never be welcome to inherit. I walked into an empty house. Just my grandpa, 82-year-old Arthur, sitting in his rocking chair by the window. On the kitchen counter, a handwritten note. You'll stay with Grandpa Arthur through the 30th. There's a lasagna in the freezer. P.S. Maybe caregiving is your real calling, since nursing hasn't exactly made you successful. They were in Paris, first class. My father, my mother, my brother Marcus, the corporate tax attorney who'd always been worth more than me. I didn't cry. I didn't call them. I'd spent 31 years learning this lesson. This wasn't just one bad Christmas. It was a lifetime of pressure finally boiling over. May 19th, 2018. My nursing school graduation. 4 years of late nights, clinical rotations, studying until my eyes burned. My parents had promised they'd be there. The morning of graduation, my phone buzzed. Text from Mom. Sweetie, so sorry. Marcus has an emergency deposition in Seattle. So proud of you. 30 seconds later, a Venmo notification. $100. Congrats. That was it. $100 for 4 years of work. A degree I'd earned while working night shifts as a CNA to pay rent, because they'd used my college fund for Marcus's law school networking expenses. But someone came. Grandpa Arthur walked in 17 minutes before the ceremony started. He was wearing his Navy suit, the one from 1987. He sat next to me. Didn't say a word about the empty seats, just patted my hand. After I walked across that stage, we took a photo together, just the two of us. When the stranger I'd asked held up my phone, Grandpa looked at me in a way I didn't understand then. His eyes were sharp and focused, like he was keeping score. December 14th, 2020. My 28th birthday. I was working 16-hour shifts in the COVID ward, watching people die alone, holding iPads to dying faces so families could say goodbye through screens. I called my mother at 11:34 p.m. I was sitting on my bathroom floor, still in my sports bra and underwear, too tired to shower. Mom, I just held another patient's hand while they died. I'm terrified. She cut me off. Honey, I can't talk now. We're on a Zoom call celebrating Marcus's promotion to senior associate. I'll call you back. She never called back. The next morning, an email. A Starbucks gift card for $25. Subject line, Happy Birthday, Natalie. Treat yourself. Marcus was making $285,000 a year. I was making $68,000. But I was the one who needed to treat herself with coffee. Thanksgiving 2022. I called my mother. Are we doing Thanksgiving at the house? Her voice sounded surprised. Oh, sweetie, didn't we tell you? We're flying to Boston. Marcus's Harvard MBA program has a family integration weekend. You understand, right? This is important for his career. I invited Grandpa Arthur to my studio apartment instead. All 520 square feet of it. The turkey came out dry. The mashed potatoes were from a box. We sat on my pull-out sofa bed and ate off paper plates on our laps. Grandpa said, "This is the best Thanksgiving I've had in 30 years, Natalie, because someone actually wanted me here." He wasn't laughing when he said it. His face was serious, and in his eyes, that same look from my graduation photo. Sharp, focused, keeping score. In the 8 years between 2016 and 2024, my parents attended 0 of my life events. 0. They attended 23 of Marcus's work dinners, promotions, his son's birthday parties, his MBA graduation. 23 to 0. I'd moved past anger into something colder. Acceptance, numbness, the knowledge that this was just how things were. So when my phone rang on December 15th, 2024, and I saw Mom on the screen, I should have known the warmth in her voice wasn't love. It was bait. I was at my boyfriend Daniel's apartment. He was making homemade carbonara. The kitchen smelled like garlic and black pepper. My phone lit up. "Mom, I almost didn't answer, but I always answered. She told me they wanted me home for Christmas. Real family time, just all of us together. She mentioned Grandpa had been asking about me. That gave me pause. Grandpa never asked them about me. He just called me directly. Every Sunday at 6 p.m., like clockwork. I hesitated. Okay, yeah, I can come. Wonderful. And then she added, almost as an afterthought, and honey, don't bring Daniel this year. Just family. Red flag. Giant waving red flag. But I ignored it because in my head the words "they want me home" were echoing like a prayer finally answered. I arrived December 20th at 10:08 a.m. The driveway was empty. No BMW, no Lexus, no Mercedes. Just Grandpa's 1998 Ford F-150 parked crooked to one side. Inside, the house was cold. The thermostat read 64 degrees. They always kept it at 72 when they were home. A Christmas tree stood perfectly decorated. 14 wrapped gifts underneath. I counted them later. Not one had my name. I found Grandpa in his rocking chair by the bay window, staring out at the rose garden. He told me calmly, Europe, Paris, then Switzerland, then Venice, and then he pointed to the kitchen counter where my mother's note was waiting for me. I read it 3 times. Emergency change of plans. Garrett invited us to Europe. His treat. So generous. You'll stay with Grandpa Arthur through the 30th. You're a nurse, you know the drill. Maybe caregiving is your real calling since nursing hasn't exactly made you successful. She had underlined the word exactly. Press the pen down harder there. Emphasis, intentional. My mother had deliberately told me in writing that my career, helping dying patients maintain dignity in their final days, was not successful. Marcus helped corporations avoid paying taxes. He was successful. I helped people die in peace. I was not. The next few days, Grandpa and I fell into a quiet rhythm. I checked his blood sugar twice a day, managed his medications, made coffee every morning in his 1991 coffee maker. The price tag still stuck to the bottom. We worked in his garden together in 34-degree frost. He tended tomato plants his wife had planted in 1987, kept alive for 37 years. One morning over coffee, he asked me casually, "Do you know who owns this house?" I hesitated. "My dad?" He said simply, "No." And then he stood up and walked to his chair, leaving me sitting there with that single word hanging in the air. On December 21st, while I waited in his truck outside a grocery store, I opened a glove compartment looking for tissues. I found a business card. Bernard Price, Esquire, Estate Planning and Trust Law. On the back, in Grandpa's handwriting, call before December 28th. I put it back exactly where I found it. On December 23rd, I overheard a phone call. Just Grandpa's side of it. "Not yet. I need to see something first." December 28th, 2 p.m. My house. Yes. Bring the documents. Don't tell them. He glanced at me once. I looked down quickly at my book. Christmas morning, there were no presents for me. I already knew that. Hadn't expected any. But Grandpa handed me an envelope. Inside was a handmade card, watercolor paper. He painted a tomato plant in shaky strokes. Inside, his handwriting. "Natalie, thank you for being here. Not because they asked, because you chose to. Grandpa Arthur." Tucked inside was a $50 bill from 1985. The paper soft, worn nearly to cloth. I started crying. Not because of the $50. Because of the words. Because you chose to. Nobody had ever thanked me for choosing them. December 28th, 2 p.m. The doorbell rang. Bernard Price arrived with a leather briefcase and kind eyes. We sat in the dining room. Grandpa at the head. Me to his right. Bernard across from us. The folder had 47 pages inside. I saw my name everywhere. Beneficiary. Trustee. Executor. Bernard explained the new trust. Total assets, $20,347. My father received $250,000. My mother, $250,000. Marcus, $250,000. Designated charities, $4.5 million. Natalie Rose Calloway, $15,347,000, plus full discretionary control over any additional distributions to family members, at her sole discretion. I couldn't breathe. Grandpa took my hand. His grip was firm despite the arthritis. "They left you here like you were nothing," he said quietly. "I'm leaving you everything to prove you're not." December 30th. 3 cars pulled into the driveway. BMW, Lexus, Mercedes. They came through the door tanned and rested. Marcus's wife carried a designer bag. Their little boy held a chocolate souvenir from Venice. They walked into the living room, saw Bernard, saw the briefcase, saw the documents on the table. Their smiles died. Grandpa told them to sit down. Bernard read the will aloud. Then he read a letter Grandpa had written, 3 pages in his own handwriting, detailing every graduation missed, every birthday ignored, every Thanksgiving alone, every moment they had looked through me like glass. The room was absolutely silent when Bernard finished. Then Marcus exploded. He pointed at me. "Did you put him up to this?" Grandpa stood, all of him 82 years old and 160 pounds, filling the room. "Sit down, boy." Marcus sat. I had never heard Grandpa use that voice. None of us had. They left, not quietly. My mother stopped at the door. Her voice was vicious. "You'll regret this, Natalie. Family is everything." I looked her in the eye. "Then why did you treat me like I was nothing?" She had no answer. She left. Grandpa and I sat alone in the quiet house. My phone started buzzing immediately. 47 text messages, 12 phone calls, 3 emails, 1 voicemail of my mother crying. I saved everything. Replied to nothing. 6 months later, my parents have attended therapy sessions. My father has volunteered hours at a hospice facility. He cried twice. My mother wrote me a 4-page handwritten letter. I'm not ready to forgive. But I'm reading. Marcus never enrolled, never volunteered, never wrote. He spent his $250,000 on a boat. We don't speak. I donated $2 million to the Oregon Hospice Foundation in Grandpa's name. It funded 3 new palliative care wings. Patients there will die with dignity, the way Grandpa believed everyone deserved. Daniel proposed for real on June 15th. Multnomah Falls. Fairy lights. I said yes. The money didn't change me. It freed me. From needing their approval. From believing I was less than. From waiting to be seen. My name is Natalie Rose Calloway. I'm 31 years old. I'm a hospice nurse. And I'm finally successful. Not because I'm rich.